I heard there was a secret chord, but David played and he pleased the Lord. You don't really care for music, do ya? Does that sound familiar? Those are the first verses of Leonard Cohen's song, Hallelujah. I have been giving Leonard Cohen tours since 1997. Why would I be giving Leonard Cohen tours? Well, he was a contemporary of my father, went to university with him at McGill, and he was very inspirational to my dad, so we used to hear about him quite a bit. And then one year someone said, does anyone give Leonard Cohen tours? I said, oh, I can do it, I know it by heart. And I started to read a lot about what he composed. I read a lot about his life, and I really, really enjoyed him. I even had the chance of being on a flight with him, and he is such an interesting person. Leonard Cohen is Montreal's most favorite son, and his life is really what Montreal is. He grew up in a very prominent Jewish family. His mother was Lithuanian Jewish, and his father and his grandfather were prominent people in the Jewish community in Montreal. Now, in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, a lot of Jewish families moved to St. Lawrence Boulevard, worked in the Shmata district, which is a Yiddish word meaning the textile industry. Well, they were the opposite. They were from a wealthy family and very, very much involved in the Jewish community. Leonard Cohen grew up in Westmount, born in Westmount. He went to an elementary school in Westmount. He even went to the high school that Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the United States, went to, and that was Westmount High. His most favorite mentor, Irving Layton, was also one of the teachers in his Jewish school before he went to his high school. He later went on to go to McGill University, lived in New York, and then came back to Montreal and bought the house which is behind me, where he did a lot of his composing. The Jewish tour of Montreal and the Leonard Cohen tour takes you to all of his landmarks and hotspots. Now, this is not a tour for amateurs. This is for avid lovers of Leonard Cohen. We're going to be taking you to the place he was born, the house, his school, where he hung out, his university, the places that he loved to have smoked meat, go and have a drink. And we're also going to go to places where we refer to him in different songs, like Suzanne, which refers to a chapel in Old Montreal where there once used to be quite a lot of bars. In 1984, he composed and wrote Hallelujah. And he really didn't become a songwriter and a performer until he was in his 30s. The National Film Board of Canada did a 44-minute documentary about his life. And when he composed and wrote Hallelujah, even then, it was not as popular as it is today. There are over 800 artists in a number of different languages that have done cover versions of it. And his most favorite version was the one done by Katie Lang at the 2010 Winter Olympic Games in Vancouver. The song means a lot to many people, and it is one of my favorite Leonard Cohen songs, and I've had the privilege of performing it both live and privately. Leonard Cohen passed away in 2016 in Los Angeles, and he was quietly buried in his family plot and cemetery in Montreal. Once a Montrealer, always a Montrealer. And through the Leonard Cohen tour, which takes the whole day, we're going to explore the places that he's been, and we're going to finish off at one of the two beautiful wall murals in his honor. So important was he that the Contemporary Arts Museum of Montreal had an exhibit that was hugely popular, that traveled around the world. It was at the Jewish Museum in New York, and it is now available online. I look forward to having you explore Leonard Cohen's life in